How we doing? All right, we lost the feed there for a second, but it was stoppage of play, so hopefully you didn't miss anything there.
I'm not sure when it cut out. If it cut out before or after Ventura grabbed Bowie Slarks from behind. You know, that's not proper hockey right there.
Well, they're pretty pumped, and he may have wanted to hit the shower early. But, yeah, we saw Aaron Ventura go after Bowie Slarks, and they both went at it there, and they were both shown the door and off the ice. The officials have a lot of work here because there were like 3 separate fights that they're going to focus on. The original one right there with Chris Burkle.
Yeah, that's an unusual one. My biggest issue with the Ventura Slarks thing was Ventura wears a cage, Slarks doesn't.
Yeah, in the old days, you just take everything off and go at it, but it happens so fast.
I know at least in the junior level, I can't say for certain about this level, but in juniors, if the other person's got a 2-game suspension instead of the 1.
I remember in the
or
years,
maybe that's changed.
Back with the Fort Wayne Comets when we had Brent Gretzky playing, Wayne Gretzky's brother. They would always try to draw him in a fight so they could say I beat up a Gretzky.
Yeah, they wouldn't say which one.
And he was so good at pulling that sweater over him. Somehow he can get the fight straps off, and he just would end it. And he just wanted to play. He was pretty calm, compared. But used to see him get drawn into so many, but he just knew how to stay in the game. But, yeah, so the victory that Buffalo put in over the Summit City Distillers in Fort Wayne. Got to meet some of the guys that came up to the restaurant bar that we have there. Pretty cool guys. And got to meet, Aaron and Moses Ventura. Good guys. This is a heated battle here, and it just gets, when you get flustered like this, especially when you're giving up 4 goals here in a potential season-ending game here with the championship on the line, tempers get flared, so.
Yeah, the discipline and patience.
So we see Burkle coming out, and it looks like Gianni Dalton coming in. So take a look at Gianni Dalton, and he's coming in at 14 minutes and 59 seconds of the third period. Getting some ice time of his own here in this potential champion, sitting on the 4-0 lead against the Summit City Distillers. So he is getting stretched and warmed up and getting ready. It looks like we are almost ready for puck drop here. 3/4 of the period are in the books. 1/4 to go.
As soon as they get the website updated, I'll get you the information on what those penalties were exactly.
And that might take till tomorrow. All right, here we are, ready for puck drop. Face-off's going to be picked up, played by Valentek. Picked up now by Brancic. Brancic feeds it across, now gathered up. Face-off there with Spencer Munger. Travis on the carry. Looking for it. It's going to be off the glass, playable to Wallem. Wallem's going to roll it out. Wallem hangs on. Feeds it over to Brancic. It's broken up. Brancic, on the keep. It just took a hop on the ice. Still trying to play it. Gathers it up. He's going to go. It's broken up again by Mallinson. Turned over on the backhand on the empty net. It went nowhere as it dies back behind the goal line in the Distiller zone. 4:21 remaining. Picked up Brancic from behind goal line. Now coming up the ice, Brancic carries it in. Loses the puck, comes back into the neutral zone. Crevice going to take on a windup, keeps the puck, gets in, and he gets through Whipple. Down he goes. Going to be picked up Sorrow. Wow, the puck dies. Sorrow had to come back to get it. Stretching it down the ice on the pickup is Wallem. Wallem hanging on, takes it, keeps it from Whipple.
Great job of getting back to protect the net.
3:45 here in the third. Wallem feeds it up ice in the feet of Munger. turned over. Now it's going to be picked up Loger. Loger on the shot, bounces wide, picked up Masonoff. Masonoff feeding it up, gets through Thornton, but it also gets through Houlihan, almost on a takeaway. On the shot, stopped. On the goalie effort by Wallem. Wallem feeding it right in front of the bench, out of the reach of Houlihan. Now skating down as Loza was making the change with Sorrow. The puck comes back, picked up Masonoff. Masonoff will look. He feeds Steinforth. Steinforth trying to tip it up. He gives it to Thornton. Thornton trying to hang on to it. He's with it up against Houlihan, right in front of the scoring circle. Now here he goes. Thornton on the carry. Thornton will hang on to it, and it's going to be turned over, and it's going to be fed wide. And an icing against Buffalo. The face-off will come down into the defensive zone of the Tempest. And we'll take a look at Gianni Dalton as he has entered this game here.
Yeah, they haven't updated a whole lot, but Aaron Ventura from Buffalo, 5 minutes for fighting, and Christopher Burkle from Buffalo, 2 minutes for roughing.
And off the drop, picked up by Buffalo, kept in by Masonoff, trying to tip it to Steinforth. Going to be picked up Thornton in the corner. Thornton with it here, feeds it into the corner to Steinforth. Steinforth going to look, it's tanking away. Thornton tying it up, Steinforth comes back to get it. Feeds it up the point, Diener. Diener goes over to Masonoff. Masonoff with a quick hand, taking a shot. Drew setting up screen, does get through, but Dalton on the stop. Masonoff comes all the way in to pick it up against Hornsack. Now picked up by Munger, over to Masonoff. Masonoff here with it. It's turned over, picked up, and up the ice it may go, and Diener can't hang on to it. It's back comes Drews with a good defensive stretch on the tomahawk there on the dive. Does manage to throw it on the bench of the Distillers, but he's stopped. Goal number 5, face-off coming though, so Rutherford will be heading back to the net.
They have added a Christopher Burkle 10-minute misconduct, and Cody Hess 2 minutes roughing.
And that's what kind of started the whole thing when Hess off the face-off. It's going to be picked up by Derschel. Derschel feeds it down ice. It rolls over Lozel, picked up by Thornton, and hops over his stick, and it's picked up by Dominsack. Lozel picks it up, feeds it. Kiffner going after it. It's kept by Derschel. And the puck's out of play as it heads over in the corner there and picked up by a fan, and they get a souvenir and they hang on to it. Hitting the 2-minute warning here in the third period. 2 minutes and 4 seconds for Buffalo to hoist the cup. They're tasting it on the 4-0 lead so far. Wallem versus Kiffner on the puck drop, stick side of Dalton. On the face-off, it's going to be picked up by Buffalo, and they launch it down ice, or try to. Now the puck's loose. Gratz going after it. Up front, taking a shot. Trying to feed it in was Wallem. Puck's going to be picked up by Buffalo, trying to pick it up. Here we go. Schlater working on it. Now it's behind. Now down. Wallem's trying to get a hold of it. It's up front. Derschel trying to get a shot, and they score!
What a goal right there.
So I think Spencer Munger might have picked up the goal there.
That would be his first goal in the Distillers uniform this season. He's gotten one other, if I'm not mistaken, he's got one goal when he was playing for Flint as a loner because they were short men.
Yeah, so he went up and played against us and scored against us.
Yeah, that was at home.
Off the faceoff, brought in by Gratz. And an icing, or an offside call off the faceoff with 1:40 left. The goose egg is off.
It's good to see our captain pick up a goal. He's been one hell of a captain this season.
Spencer Munger's a great guy. I've played with him. He is just he's a class act.
He knows how to get the boys going.
All right, so here we are, face-off just outside the attacking zone for Buffalo. 1:40 left, empty net. Gratz on the face-off, comes back down. Derschel's going after it. He goes up against Mellinson. Stretch on the pass, goes out of reach. They say no ice. Back it goes, picked up by Buffalo. Wallem ties up his guy. Dershel on the keep. Dershel feeding on the back door, and the stick of Gratz in and out, but he gathers it up. Taking another shot, but it's blocked. Pick up now. While I'm putting the pressure on Stewart. Stewart's going to draw it back. Around it goes. Brantzik going after it up against Melanson. Back it goes. Still with a minute 13 to play. Brantzik will pick up. Now coming in, putting the pressure on. Brantzik gets through the effort of Whipple. Feeds it up to Valentek. Valentek going up against Moses Ventura. It's up in the air. It's picked up by Dershel. And it is still picked up. Valentek keeps it alive. Picked up Brantzik. Brantzik feet on the back door, but it's too far behind Gratz. Gratz will keep it. He puts it in harm's way. And Dalton searches for it. He had to shift over to pick it up. At the back door was Wallum. Good stop by Gianni Dalton to read the play there with under a minute to play.
48 and a half seconds left in this game, and the Distillers are not giving up. They are trying everything they can.
So about one shift remaining here up in Buffalo. The Tempest are tasting it here, and the fans are ready for it. Face-off, however, is in the attacking zone on the drop. Wallum's got to come back to pick up. 45 seconds left here. Pressure coming up. Oh, and it's taken away by Brisley. Brisley with a shot. Wallum couldn't get back, so Brisley puts up a goal for himself here.
Missing the clear on that puck. That was a bad turnover, but it's not a whole lot you can say about it. At this stage of the game, it doesn't really matter.
Face-off center ice. Rutherford back in net, 37.8. Going to be picked up by Trebas. Trebas here with the puck. Brisley all over him. He just put a goal in. He wants another. Trebas trying to get it through. It's going to be poked by Dominsek. Picked up by Schlater. Schlater here with the puck. He connects with Munger. Munger trying to get a hold of it. Sorrow gets it. Trebas with it. Back to Schlater. Down to about 15 seconds here as soon as the puck's touched up by Trebas. Trebas is going to draw it back. Looking for a play.
We got Munger and one of the Buffalo players talking over here.
And that will do it.
I'd like to be the first to congratulate Buffalo Tempest on winning the championship.
Buffalo Tempest has picked up the Governor's Cup for the American Premier Hockey League. We want to congratulate them and thank them for putting on a very good game for you to watch here. And it was, Distillers could not find a victory over them. Never played them during the seasons. They just couldn't figure it out. Too late in the season to start this late in. But what an effort put on by the Distillers. But it was the Buffalo Tempest in front of the home crowd up here in Niagara Falls at the Hyde Park Ice Rink, coming out with a victory.
Greatest part in hockey, handshake line after a game.
And it is tough to do. But when the game's over, the game's over. And this is, you're thinking the guy who was a strong battler throughout this game.
Well, it looks like there's some words out here. It's, game's over.
But Buffalo will be hoisting the cup. We'll stay with the action here to see them pick up this well-deserved victory. But for the most part, you're thinking that player that you battled against in this series and for being as tough as you can. And I've always said there's no enemies here. There's just some really tough action put on by both teams. So congratulations to Buffalo as they did it in front of the home crowd, sweeping the series against the Distillers, picking up the victory down in Fort Wayne.
Before we cut the feed, I want to wish everybody, all the fans that made the trip up here to New York, all the players, the staff, everybody that made the trip out, safe trip home.
Yeah, I want to thank you. Also, just realize that these players didn't happen overnight. They came from many years of practice and come from teams that they've played with or against, players here. And you'll see these guys somewhere on your team later that just battled the crap out of you in this effort. We'll stick with the hoisting of the cup here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I feel that'd be a disservice,
And they got the championship hats. They had them ready. Look at Buffalo.
I saw them bringing those hats in at the intermission. How much I would have loved for those to not be worn, but, Buffalo, they're a good team. They put up a great effort. No, they came out with the wins.
And their fans are proud. Here we are. Trying to get a team photo, but here comes the cup.
Commissioner Josh Way.
First things first. And the fans are happy up here in Buffalo. Here comes the team picture. Now, who do you think will skate with that cup first?
Oh.
It could be Hornsack, it could be Burkle.
I would say the captain would be first, but I would fully expect Hornsack to be way early. He has been a powerhouse for this Buffalo team all season.
Yeah, he is. He's put him on when he's needed him. This team's needed it.
The 14-0 game against Toledo, he ended up scoring 5 or 6 goals, assisted on a couple others. And that he's done that in other games, maybe not to that extent, but
yeah, he is. It's not a fluke throughout the season. I mean, when you're a point leader, it shows in all the efforts. From whenever you started, from mites, pee-wee, who knows. And there are players out there who've gone their whole career with never a championship.
Oh, they hand it off to Burkle.
So Burkle will pick it up, and he's the first to skate with it. Chris Burkle has earned it. He has really taken a lot of shots in the last 2 games against the Distillers on the road and in his own barn.
Oh, absolutely. I think you had getting in that fight and getting ejected. That does something for the respect with the players.
Now we see the effort put on Tattoo, the second to carry. And now it'll cycle through.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up Hornsack, and he kisses the cup. He may be drinking from it later.
I would be disappointed if they weren't.
Yeah. So the Governor's Cup finds its home up here in Buffalo for a victory. As Butterworth is now carrying and getting the fans all cheered.
Is this back-to-back championships for them? I'm not familiar with last season, but I want to say that they did win it last year.
So what a program up here in Buffalo. They had controlled their way here. They had done what they needed throughout the season. Gave up one in Toledo, but they had rallied back and never saw another loss to pick up this win here and hoist that cup up here in Buffalo. So congratulations for the Buffalo Tempest up here in Niagara Falls, just outside of Buffalo, New York. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. And sorry we couldn't get on earlier. We had a little bit of feed problems, and I didn't get to give my thing about the national anthem as well as I wanted to, and celebrate the veterans who have gave their life for this country. And this great state of New York has paid a lot in that. We always want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers, the veterans. It's not just the national anthem that we sing before a game. It is important, and see someday that these young men might end up, serving our country, but they sure served their team here today. What an effort. You see Houlihan picked up some goals down in Fort Wayne hoisting. Dominsack, who was a really strong player down in Fort Wayne. Played good today, but he was a factor. What a spoiler down there when he was playing, when they picked up their 4-3 win over the Distillers. Well, we're going to call it here. Glad you got to see, if you are a Buffalo fan, got to see the victory. We came up here to bring it to you. For the Distillers fan, we're sorry they came up short. I heard a fan out between periods say it looks like it's going to be a shutout. You never say that.
No, never.
And it kind of burned them there, but
I am
they
glad
had more than enough.
I am glad it didn't end in a shutout. that's about the only consolation that we can get from this.
So, yeah, for all of us here, we want to thank you for tuning into the season with the Distillers there. And that will do it for us. What a great season we had. An inaugural run for the Summit City Distillers. Our first time ever just putting this together in the summer. And what an effort to come all the way here. But it is Buffalo coming out the victor, the team that wanted it. They tasted it early on. They earned it. And it's well-deserved for Buffalo Tempest. So for all of us here.
I do want to thank all the fans that have come out to the games and supported the team.
Dalton now carrying the puck.
Season didn't end the way we wanted, but looking forward to next season and hope y'all come back out and get some more fans, and that's going to be our redemption run.
Yeah, Giovanni Dalton gave up that one, but he was the closer. He did what he needed. He was the last to hoist the cup because it's heading back to the locker room. Well, for all of us here up in Buffalo, we want to thank you for tuning in. And as I say after every game, wherever you go, drive safe because someone out there loves you. We'll be doing that. So that prayer is for ourselves as well, but for all of those who are traveling wherever you go, even if it's in town or on a long road trip, vacation, or wherever, there are people who love you. Please be safe. That came from the old days I did Indiana Tech when we had a big showing and some fans had left and lost their lives on the highway. So it's dear to my heart. Be safe. Come back. Want to see next season, if it's Buffalo controlling the season, we want to see all the fans come back safe and cheer for their home team. What a crowd they have here, and I'm proud of them here. I'm proud of the effort put on by Buffalo. I'm proud of the effort put on by the Distillers. They didn't give up all the way to the end.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
That'll do it. Take care. Be safe. We love you.